Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to more Understand. I'm here to break not only your brain, but more importantly, my brain once again. We are done with one dash, which is cool. We're into two dash. I don't know how many dash there are. And frankly, I don't want to know. I just want to play and then figure out what's going on. Let's retake a look at this guy. So this was small to large. Yeah. Small to large, except for this one. we got no freaking clue what was going on with that. 2-2. Let's do it, right? So small to large. So circle to circle works. Let's also. Okay, so start with circle, maybe second thought. We've learned a lot from the last episode about how we determine what our circles are. So square. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so second thought is going to be do not include the lowest number or square, right? It could be don't include square. I don't think it will be. And then the first thought is probably make sure you're doing most. And then we'll just move from there, right? So that should work. Yeah, doing most, not including least. Doing most, not including least. What happens here? Okay, so I mean it's actually just straight up do not. That's interesting too. Okay, so it's not just start and finish with the least. It's also I mean, let's test, right? Yeah, you can start and finish anywhere. It's just the first dot is you have to include whatever is the most of, and you can't include anything else. I think. We'll see if that changes. This presents an interesting scenario all of a sudden, because what do you do if you got two that are the same? Interesting. You probably include both of them. Okay. So whatever is the most or tied for the most, you have to include. Don't include anything else. Double check. That should also work. Easy enough. I'm with it. Okay. Include the most. Easy enough. Is very good. Okay. It's simple. I mean, this theoretically should work. Why does this not work? Oh, because there's only one triangle. I'm stupid. There you go. Okay, dude, easy one. Easy one, to be honest. That went well. And we got what appears to be 3- sneaking in on the bottom here. This is gonna look sick over time, I'm gonna tell you. So we move into 3-. So circle to square. So most to least. Perhaps, but not. Okay. So just circle fulfills the first. Just square fulfills the first. But it doesn't fulfill that. Okay, you know what? It's breaking me. We move on to the next. So what happens here? Okay. It's the same thing, more space. Let's double check. How about this? Yeah, it likes that too. But it will not like that. I still don't actually know what the things are. So theoretically, okay, how about this? Okay, so this is most to least. So... but it is one of the most to the least. So this fulfills the first one because it's the least. Except all of these fulfill the first one. The first one can't be starts with a shape. No, it's definitely not starts with a shape. Okay. So that means that since it can be anything, that means this is actually a not condition. Meaning that we're not doing something. So what are we not doing when we do... this? No, that's still doing it. What are we not doing when we do this? We're not including all of whatever the most is, right? Yeah, so that... What if we do like this? Yeah, okay. So I think that the first dot is you're not including all of whatever the most shape is. So since there's 3 circles, if we include all of them, it fails the first condition. Now this also fails the second. But if we don't include all of them, Okay, and if we include more than one, okay. So maybe you can't have more than one of the original. But then maybe it's one. Okay, I understand. You can only have one of each. Is that the vibe? You can only have one of each. Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah. Okay. We have figured it out. Now there is still there's still a small problem. Except we might not have to worry about it. So this should work. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna tell you, I don't actually know what the two conditions were on that one. We have found 3 dash. That's fun. I'm not actually sure what the conditions were there. But I understand the shtick, so I guess that's fine. So this is weird immediately. Is it gonna be we sandwich the most between the least? Oh, we got 3 conditions, dude. So this could be okay. Start with circle, end with square, sandwich the middle. Start with circle, end with square, sandwich the middle. That did not work. Okay. That still does start with circle. That still does end with square. Is it only 2? Okay. So middle is, or start with circle, end with square, must have 2 triangles in the middle of the circle and the square. Okay. Okay. What if though? Instead we do this. Okay. So I didn't know if maybe you could, slap like a 2 times multiplier on it, right? Instead of circle, triangle, triangle, square, you instead do circle, circle, triangle, 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 square, square, right? Seemingly no. I do like the idea of trying a lot of things here though. Dude, it's just circle, triangle, triangle, square. Circle, triangle, 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 square, triangle, many shapes. Okay, it's still doing fine. Now what the hell do you do here? So that does not pass that. But what if... Okay, I can't access the triangles on the outside. But see, this is actually... You've now changed the game a little bit. What if it's... circle, square, triangle? Okay, that does not work. So that still solidifies that. But why is it... Oh, so it's just you can have any 2 things in the middle. As long as it starts with circle and ends with square. Okay, you tricked me. You tricked me and I appreciate it, to be honest. You tricked me and I appreciate it. So it starts with circle, ends with square, must have 2 things in the middle. This should work. Okay, yeah. You hit me with the Uno reverse card at one point. And I love you for it. 2-5. Okay. Let's test. Start with square. Start with square, and this could be start with square, end with square. Could be both, or it could be one or the other. And then I'm going to assume that the second dot is circles in the middle or squares in the middle. Doesn't like that. Okay, what about fill the entire grid? How do I do this? You don't actually. Why did that work? Why did that work? Maybe it has to be a line. Start with square, end with oh god. Okay, then not what I expected. So this is start with this is end with circle. Because otherwise, that's why this fails. Okay, that one broke me. Why does that work? First dot is end with a symbol. So hear me out. What if... What? Okay, I'm very confused now. So start with end with the symbol has to be the first dot. I mean, like, it quite literally has to be. So end with a shape, or square or circle. It has to be the first dot. Second dot, however, is... I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay. So start with the symbol, end with the symbol, but it has to... Yeah. So still, that's still solidifying that. Does this... Yeah, that still does the first one. But then what is different here? Like, what sets this apart from this? And it's the idea... Why does this work? Why does that work? Oh, dude, this is gonna be difficult if we can't actually discern what the hell second circle stands for. Okay, so, like, hear me out. I'm gonna just... This is just between you and me. I have no freaking clue what this is. It is not most to least, even though that's the theme in this one, right? So, like, this doesn't work. I'm struggling with... If it was something with most to least, then circle... It's length. It's length. It's length. Okay. So hear me out. Why does that not work? It's the length of the line. Length of the line has to be 5? Yo, wait a minute. Length of the line has to be 5. The middle has to be 5. Okay. 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 Starts with the same symbol, ends with the same symbol. And the length of the interior has to be 5. Oh my god, dude. So theoretically, that should work. Oh my god, he's freaking done it. Okay. Interior has to be 5. So like, how do you effectively do this? You do it like this. It's so easy. Oh my god, he's a genius. Okay. But there's some other well, that's not 5. So that's why. Starts with the same symbol, ends with the same symbol. Interior has to be 5. You do something, but other shapes can be in it. So this should work. That's 6. That should not work. Interior has to be 5, just like this. Dude, that's such a... And it's so brilliant, okay? It's so brilliant because they teach you in 2-1 to 2-4. They're going, hey, stupid, pay attention to size, right? Size matters. For this one, pay attention to size. Whatever is the biggest, that's where you're gonna have to deal with it. And then they take your brain and they grab the medulla oblongata and they snap it in half. And they go, how about you think outside the freaking box, you idiot? And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay, 2-6, we continue. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So starts with circle, ends with circle. Could be number 2. Because it could be starting with, it could be ending with. But start with square, they don't like. They don't like. So clearly star is where you go. So probably whatever is the most you gotta start with. Or end with. And you gotta touch all of them of that kind. And none of the other. Okay? So why... Even numbers. 2, 4, 2. Okay. Maybe whatever is the highest even number? Yeah. I don't know. Highest even? Okay, but it touched another even. Okay, so you have to start and end with an even. So you can only touch evens. You have to touch all of the evens. Okay, yeah. You gotta touch all the evens. So squares and triangles are fair game. He's so good. Okay. I love it. 2-7. Let's do it. Dude, this game is brilliant. I mean, it is actually brilliant, though. Alright. We got circle to double square. Could be counting upwards as our vibe here. You know, you go 1 to 2. Still works on that side as well. Let's count upwards. 1 to 2 to 3. Okay. 1 to 2. Okay. So there's no... Oh, God. Okay. 1 to 2 works, but 3 to 2 to 1 does not work. But we start with a triangle. That's interesting. Oh, well, because there's 3 circles, right? There's 3 circles. So you start with the most, but you can only take 1. And then it goes... Okay. Okay. I feel like this one I'm missing something. So 3 to 2, you inverse. You get 1 from the 3, and then 2 from... So but then I would need 3 circles. So you take 1 from here. So clearly it start with one of whatever the most is. Or all of the most. Then middle is you have to have the second most, but then that dies. So that works. Why does that work? Why does that work? You go... Okay. No, that also doesn't work. You have to isolate... Okay, I'm gonna throw a big brain one at you. You have to isolate the most so that there's more in the most than anything else. But then, theoretically, this should work if that was the case, because the 2 in the dead space is greater than the 1. But that does not work. Okay. So this works. Why does that work? Why does that work? The dead space is 2, the completed is 4. This is 4, the dead space is 5. That doesn't work. Okay, let's just continue then. So then, if I'm looking at this one, we had 3, 2, 1 here. So theoretically, we start with star. That makes sense to me. Square is still middle, circle is still middle. So whatever middle is has to do with whatever the 2-banger is. So what if we just grab 1 of each? Okay. I mean, this includes star, star, circle, square in the dead space, and it's in a 5. I mean, this is effectively the same thing here, except there would be another circle. So there has to be 1 less... Okay. There has to be 1 less than the number... What? You have to get rid of 1 of each shape, but you can't have 0. So you get rid of 1 of each shape, but you can't have 0. Oh, freaking hell. Okay. So we got 4 of these, 3 of these, 2 of these, 1 of these. So get rid of 1 of each shape, but you can't have 0. Okay. So that did not work. And also we're not starting... Okay, so you start with whatever the 3 is. What if we do... So you you start with the 3. And then 2 is still... So 3 is always the first slot. 2 is always the second slot. But the last one, we don't know what the last one is. And somehow including the 1 gets rid of the second. So why is that? Because that one no longer has 1, right? So theoretically, if I do that, also kills it. What if I do this? We would be missing one of... I'm trying to get one of each of them, right? But obviously, starting and finishing without... So it's definitely start with this. And then we also have to finish with it. So it'd be... Except I still need... It'd be this. Okay. So that's clearly not it. That's clearly not it. This one has me a little stumped. This one has me a little stumped, if I'm gonna be honest with you. So definitely first dot involves the 3. You gotta start with the 3. Then second dot is you gotta include the 2. But if we... Okay, so that works. Why does that work? Why does that work? You gotta include... The first one is you start with the 3. The second one is you gotta include both of the 2s? No, that makes no sense. Dude, I have no idea. So start with the 3. Except we have no idea. So, I mean, it has to be square, right? And then there's 4 stars, 5 circles, and 2 of the thingies. Okay. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't get it. I don't get it. I have absolutely no idea what the shtick is here. And I would love to know as well, to be perfectly honest with you. This makes no sense to me. Because you include the 4 in now, but then I touch a 4 here, and I don't touch a 4 here. I got no clue. Okay, 2 7s done. Let's do 2 8. Okay, so star to triangle, but you can't include triangle. So it likes just star, and it likes star to empty. I'm gonna take a wild guess immediately and say this has to do with the number of sides / angles of the shape. Okay? So technically square is more than a circle, because square has 4, circle has 1. Okay? Square is more than triangle. How about anything that... that makes no sense. Why star work but triangle don't? But then triangle work here. That's weird to me. So star to square to triangle. Okay, star to square to triangle. Okay. And apparently start with square, or start with star no longer exists either. Is there even a start with? Why the hell is triangle where you start? What? Okay. Well, this was also triangle start. Not... But it could also be square start. Okay. What? So just square. That means that this first one is not a start nor finish. That's what that means. Well, I mean, not necessarily though. Not necessarily, because it could be start with. I mean, it could be. I mean, it's probably just an include. No, it's not. So this fulfills the first one, and that fulfills the first one. So why does 2 squares fulfill the first, but one triangle. And by one triangle, we also mean one triangle and any dead space, which means that the first one has nothing to do with dead space. It's a direct relation to the shapes themselves. So what is unique about these shapes? Squares have 4 sides, triangles have 3. You start with whatever has the least sides possible. In that case, it would be the freaking circle, because the circle doesn't have sides. But maybe you just can't do circles. But then this one doesn't make sense. Never mind, it does. Why does that make sense? See, they tricked me. They made me start with the star and led me down this weird angle and side path, but that's clearly not correct. How about you can start with anything that has an odd number of angles? That has 4 angles. Okay, yeah. And 4 sides. So I don't think it has anything to do with even and odd. I mean, this is 8 sides, 8 angles. This is 3 sides, 3 angles. What the hell is different about this? And then why does including them like that change things? And then why does that work? And then can we make it work in other ways? So including the squares. Okay. See, this is what's confusing me though. So order does not matter. Start and finish does not matter. That's what we've learned. We can go either way on this. So you have to start with start with whatever has the lowest number of things. And start with odd doesn't work either, because theoretically 2 squares fulfills it. The thing is, right, like I know you're probably sitting here and you're frustrated watching me. And no duh, it's a puzzle game, okay? And it's me doing a puzzle game. I'm smoother than a smoothie in a blender. I want to figure out what the dots do, right? I want to know. You get that adrenaline rush from knowing why you completed the puzzle. It's like when you play The Witness, right? You could draw random lines forever, and you could fulfill every puzzle, you know, given a maximum number of brute force attempts. Do you get any satisfaction from doing it? Maybe, but not really, right? I want to know why these are like this, and I have no idea why this one's like this. And I really didn't have a clue what the last one was either. I continue. Oh, frick you. Okay. So, like, my immediate thing, they're just building up, okay? They're just building up, right? It starts as a square. Now you have this upside-down triangle, bigger upside-down triangle, even bigger upside-down triangle, right? I'm looking at the triangle as in, like, this shape I'm drawing with my cursor, right? It's like a pyramid but sideways and then cut in half. Why? So clearly circles they don't like. They don't like circles. So what if we get rid of all the circles? Okay. The problem is, right, like, one, guessing this one is gonna be a righteous pain in the ass. And we know that these have worked in the past. How about we just go whatever the 1 is to the 4? Okay. What about whatever the... But doesn't this also work? No. But does this work? So that solidifies the first, that solidifies the first, but that finishes it, and this doesn't. Oh, wait, and this doesn't do it at all. Now that invalidates this. Okay, dude, it has to do with the number of sides. Right? It has to be number of sides. So that hits the last one. Let's count sides. How many sides are in one of these stars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sides in the star. 38. There's 38 sides in this. Second dot is fulfilled at 38. Second dot is also fulfilled at 43. Does that help me? No. 43 is a horrible number, to be perfectly blunt. First dot is fulfilled at 3, but also fulfilled at 8. And also fulfilled at 40. So that makes no sense. I just don't know. I mean, like, I genuinely just don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what this could be. So why does this work? Let's start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning. That works? For the first one? So each one... What? What? Okay, now I'm really lost. Now I'm really lost. So that alone fulfills it. Does together it fulfill it? No. So second thought has to be about not including something. Because not including the triangle works. Not including the star works. Just that alone works. Now I'm broken. It has nothing to do with sides and angles. I've been down a weird road, and it has nothing to do with it. So, that works. Just a square does not work. So, you have to do all of... No, because otherwise this would not. That fulfills the first one too. All of one shape fulfills the first one. That's what we've figured out. Yep. Okay. All of one shape fulfills the first one. So you have to include all of one shape. That's technically all of the empty space. No, that doesn't make sense now. That doesn't make sense now. Just make sure these are set. But this can also be all of circle. all of one shape completes the first one. And then the second one is all of another shape. All of the smallest shape. Second one is you have to not include... I mean, this is an even number. This is an odd number. This is an odd number. The white space has to be a 6. That makes no sense. I mean, it kind of does, actually. That's 6, that's 6, that's 6. Okay, I mean, if this is correct, I'm gonna lose my mind. Yeah. How about you gotta do all of the white space? That makes no sense. You have to... You have to have an odd number of these things on the inside. So right now that's 6, 11, 15, 18, 20. Okay, it's not that. Does that actually work for this? There's 3 in there. There's 2 in there, so that's not even a thing. I'm looking at the dead space, right? 1, 4, 3, 1. It's just, there's no pattern there at all. I don't know. I'm stumped, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm very stumped. The problem is, you know, the last one, they don't give you the progress, right? You don't know whether or not you can get one or the other. So I'm just stuck in a land of trying 1,000 things, and on a map this big, it's just not reasonable, right? It's just not reasonable at all. I have no idea. I have no idea. I think I officially tap out. It's difficult for me to tap out here. I mean, there's no way this is the solution. It's simple, dude. I know it's simple, and that's what's really bugging me, is it's simple. The stars, they got 10 sides. It can't be sides. I'm stuck on the sides and the angles. It can't be sides and angles because this works. And that should not work. Was there... That worked too. But did... And that worked. And that worked. Okay. So dead space didn't matter at all. What about you have to... It can't be multiples of 3. What about there has to be the same number inside as outside? Okay. Same number inside as outside. There's 7, 10, 15, 21, 28. So we have to have 14 inside, 14 outside. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But then it would have to be... But how could you split that up? So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But then also the 1. It's impossible to do that. Well, I mean, not necessarily, right? You could do this. Okay, same number inside as outside. And then the first bubble was... You have to do all of one color. If you choose a color, you have to do all of it. Same number inside as outside. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. So theoretically, this will work too. Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Okay, you know what? It took us a little bit to get there, but we did get there. So in the end, who am I to say a word? I feel good about that. I feel good about that. Brain is expanded. Thank you so much for watching. As always, liking the video, much appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's tackle 2-9, 2-10, and get into 3-1. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.